Welcome to Ntiva's webinar for March 2025. I'll be your host again, Ted Brown, Director of Product Management here at Ntiva. And today we're going to be getting into Microsoft Copilot for 365 updates. It's really hard to believe that Microsoft Copilot for 365 has been officially released for over a year now, and its impact on productivity is astonishing. Personally, I use Copilot every day and have witnessed firsthand how it saves me time and makes my job easier. With all the continuous updates rolling into this product, I find more and more value with every month. Whether you're grappling with messy spreadsheets or seeking to streamline your workflows, Copilot is here to transform your experience. Join us as we delve into the latest enhancements and discover how you can leverage these powerful tools regardless if you're a first-time user or have been using Copilot since its launch. Get ready to unlock new levels of efficiencies in innovating your work today. So as I mentioned, we're going to go ahead and get into Microsoft Copilot for 365, the updates that have been put forth since the last time I did the update webinar, which I believe is in the October of 2024 timeframe. We're going to go through it, something Microsoft put out recently, the Microsoft Copilot 30-day challenge. Get into Microsoft Copilot Pages, which was released just after we did my webinar last time, and go into some updates for Outlook, Word, Excel, as well as the Microsoft Copilot app itself. So first things first is the Microsoft Copilot 30-day challenge. Highly recommend check it out. I have a QR code you can scan to get directly to that link, or you can take a look at the link I have and just kind of type it out and get there. Now, with this 30-day challenge is it actually creates really small, short videos to show you how you can utilize Copilot in your daily work experience. Now, I do recommend utilizing this if you've used Copilot since the onset, or if you're a first-time user, because it kind of get your brain going about things that you might have kind of looked over or haven't tried before. Or maybe you're kind of just in a prompt fatigue and you're just doing the same thing over and over again. I think it helps you kind of break out of it. And it's really short daily drip trainings that you can get in there, 30-second trainings. Go, hey, try this, try that. So let me go ahead and show you what this looks like so you can kind of get an idea of what you can do with it. So Microsoft Copilot 30-day training, again, scan this QR code, you'll get right to this site right here. And this is how to become a power user one prompt at a time. So Microsoft has broken this down to 30 different small short videos to make sure that you get the most value out of Copilot. So you can see here, let me go to the top. You have manage your time, starts off the beginning, week 1. You have 5 different trainings here of how to manage your time. And same thing here, supercharge creativity, expand your experience, enhance collaboration, use Copilot agents. And each one of these comes with a short video. Now, I'm not going to go ahead and play all the videos for you, but you can jump in here and take a look at it. But what I want to show you here, these are quick 30-second videos. You can come in here and take a really easy look about what's happening within the actual prompt itself. The neat part about it is after you watch this video, it says here, stay informed. What's the latest from this person organized by emails, chats, and files? Try and Copilot. If you have Copilot, you can go ahead and click on this link right here. And what it will do, it will open directly up to the Microsoft Copilot app. And it should bring in here the prompt to try. So you can go ahead and start this right off, put in the person's name, and give it a try to see what comes back out for you. Now, I hadn't actually used this prompt itself in its totality by organized by emails, chats, and files, and it was actually very fascinating what it looks like. I do a lot of one-on-ones with my direct reports as well as my manager, and it's nice to come in here before those meetings or are planning ahead for what I want to try to get out of it. Pop this in there to make sure that there's nothing that you're overlooking or might have missed during the week itself. So highly recommend to try it out if you're a Copilot user. If you're not a Copilot user, you still can go through here and take a look at some of the videos that it can do, and it'll give you an example of how it's being used so you can see how maybe you could apply it to your daily function. The neat part about this is after you get done, you can actually, if you wanted to, apply skills, gives you some scenarios as well. And you can even get a badge at the end if your company does anything with badging. So you have a Copilot badge. You can launch this out as a full organized training across groups of people that has a downloaded, ready to use email template to get people excited about this. You can put it into an email correspondence to your users, throw it out there to make sure people understand where to go, how to utilize it, and go from there. It could be a fun thing, people going back and forth to seeing who get completed the quickest. But I definitely recommend, again, regardless if you're using Copilot, you've been using it for a year, or you're brand new to it, give it a try. There's some certain things in here that I found useful myself after being utilizing, I would say, a heavy Copilot user since the onset of this launch. So really handy website that Microsoft's put together. The next thing is Microsoft Copilot for 365 Pages. Now, I was really excited to potentially show this off last time we did our updates, but when I was launched, but when Microsoft does any type of launches with new features into Copilot, it's like a rolling update across all the tenants and organizations. So one company might get it first before another company at the end of it. So it just kind of depends where you fall in the rollout. And unfortunately, last time I didn't have a chance to show it off because I was really excited about it. Microsoft was kind of putting out all these webinars about how to utilize it and the benefits of it. So what is Microsoft Copilot Pages? So let me go ahead and demo, and I think I'll give a better explanation of what it is. So I'm going to come back in to Microsoft Copilot right here. So I'm a Copilot user. I have a Copilot license. The advantage of Microsoft Copilot Pages, it can take information utilizing Copilot, putting together maybe files and folders, going out to the web and kind of putting everything into a curated information sheet. And then you can share that easily with other individuals that do not have Microsoft Copilot. So you can kind of take advantage of that information that Copilot gives to a user and then hand it over to other people so you can work on it and manipulate the data itself within a group collaboration. Now, what you could see here is Pages is built onto another technology that Microsoft's been utilizing called Microsoft Loop. I'm a big Microsoft Loop user now. I did a webinar back, I believe, in Q3 or Q4 of last year. Check it out. Probably do another one because there's a lot more features rolling into Loop. It's a great tool set. And once you get going with it, it's hard to break away with it. So let me show you how this will operate. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the web. And what I want to do is I want to go ahead. There's a couple webinars I've done this as well. There's a Microsoft 5% increase for annual license paid monthly. So what I want to do is kind of build some information about this to then bring to my team to maybe put together a presentation internally or put together a webinar or put together a correspondence and email letting people know about it. So let me go ahead and put this together with Copilot. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to put in a prompt I already have here. Go ahead and explain the new 5% increase for Microsoft 365 annual commitment paid monthly SKUs. When you put this into the prompt, you have this ability to say edit in Pages. I'm going to click edit in Pages and it brings over a right-hand prompt. Edit in Pages, it will bring it over. Here you go. Microsoft has announced a 5% increase. So here's kind of information about it right here. Now, what I want to do is I want to add some more information about this. So I want to create a table about the Microsoft prices. So I'm going to go ahead and let's go ahead and bring in some of the information about the Microsoft prices. And I can see here, these are the Microsoft business, small business plans, as well as the enterprise plans. It brings in the original price, the 5% increase, and what the new price will be. So go ahead and edit in Pages as well. And now it pops it into the Microsoft Loop component, the pages over to the right. And so now I have this great informational page that I now can potentially send to anybody that I want to work with this information. So I can quickly hit here, share the pages link, and send it out to my team to actually work on and help collaborate with. Now, what this looks like on the back end, I'm going to come into Microsoft Loop, because I mentioned this is in Loop. Highly recommend checking out Loop if you haven't checked it out yet. On the left-hand side, you have your workspaces. These are workspaces they very share to individuals that might meet a team you work with, or maybe a project that's going on, or a plan you're kind of going through on. But you have something called My Workspaces. When I click on My Workspaces, I'll click on the Microsoft as an announcement. And you can see here, this is the exact same thing we saw in Pages right here. So the Pages is just a loop on the back end, and you have access to get to it here, share out, maybe put it into another workspace itself. But I find it very easy to bring data in, could be from the web, could be from your data as well in Microsoft 365 tenant, SharePoint, or a Teams group or something like email, whatever it is, and then share it out to individuals to work on together. So one person could have the license, curate all the information together, put it into a Microsoft Loop component, share it across the team so you can all collaborate easily together on that information. Highly valuable. Check it out. It's fairly easy to use. And again, once you start getting used to the loop on the back end, you can then create tasks and tables and things along those lines. I find really highly valuable when working in groups itself. So that's the Microsoft Copilot Pages aspect. Now let's go ahead and get into some of the Microsoft 365 application updates that have occurred since November. Now, there's a couple two updates that came on Outlook, which I love. I'm able to easily and effortlessly set up meetings from a group email, and also ability to rewrite portions of an email with Copilot. So let's go ahead and demo and show you what that looks like. So let me go ahead and go into Outlook. Let's go ahead and pull up a new message. And I'm going to go ahead and say that we are wanting to create an email introducing Microsoft Copilot to our clients, so how to utilize it, what it does, the value it brings. So this is a quick little short little blurb about Microsoft Copilot. Previously with Microsoft Outlook, if I wanted to have Copilot assist with this, I'd click here and click draft, and it would, of course, give me no ability to only select portions of my email itself that I want to rewrite. I would have to take in a correspondence that it was everything it needed to write. So I would hit auto rewrite and rewrite the whole email. Now, the best part about this now is I have the capability. Let's go ahead and discard this a little bit. Maybe it's just only middle email I've written that I think needs help. I like my intro, I like my conclusion, but it's the middle part that I don't like too much, or I want some assistance on maybe enhancing it or do something else. So I go ahead and click on draft. I selected only the portion I want to have rewritten and go ahead and click on auto rewrite if I want. It still doesn't quite get it, but if I want, I can change the tone. Maybe, not saying I would do this, let's go ahead and make it a poem so you can kind of see it in action and replace. So now you can see here, I have my intro email, my conclusion, and then it took everything into a poem right here. Granted, it's not something you probably do, but it shows you have the capability of manipulating certain pieces of the email itself, not the whole thing. You can do a sentence, paragraph, whatever it is, to then make sure you refine it exactly how you want it. So I find that very valuable instead of having to write individual emails and trying to kind of paste and put them together if you only want to write portions of it. So a nice little feature they put into Outlook. The one I like even more is the ability to be able to schedule meetings directly from a email with people on it and bring in information from the email, as well as find available time for everybody on that message. I'm not sure if you're like me, but pretty much meetings are hard. Blank spaces on your Outlook calendar are hard to find these days, especially across a whole bunch of groups. And trying to find those blank spaces takes time, not with Copilot. So let me go into Outlook. I'm going to go into this group here. I've got 3 or 4 people, including myself, that have been talking about a scripting aspect. So once I click into the message itself at the top here, I have schedule with Copilot. So we've had a pretty big email correspondence going right here, but man, we need to have an email. We have a meeting about this and talk about what's going on. So I'll hit schedule with Copilot. So when I click schedule with Copilot, it's going to go find the time available for everybody. So it says, hey, tomorrow everyone's available at 12. Fantastic. So I didn't have to look to find that time. And I can bring in all the information from from the email itself and insert it in. And so everyone has an idea of what we're going to discuss, what's going to summarize the email, and kind of brings in the email itself. So I didn't have to put together an agenda for it. I didn't have to look to find the time. 4 people was easily able to find a time to talk for 30 minutes tomorrow without having to spend the time to see where people are free, email people when things work. Saves a lot of time for internal collaborations together, especially when set up meetings for more than 2 people. Highly check it out. Highly recommend checking it out if you're a Copilot user. Those 2 features alone have been very beneficial for me for utilizing Outlook. And Outlook, I would say, is one of my highly used application with Microsoft Copilot today. So let's go ahead and go ahead and discard that and go into what's next. Now, there hasn't been, I would say, too many updates in Microsoft Word. They did a lot of stuff with Word up front. They do have this new feature called Read Out Loud, where Microsoft Copilot will read to you about what what the Copilot response is for Word as well as PowerPoint. And it's read directly from you from the chat pane. So you're actually able to listen to it, work on other stuff while it's reading to you. So you kind of do a little bit of handling other tasks while that's going on, so you don't have to completely focus on it if you want to. Now, I'm not going to demo that part. It's really hard to demo in this type of setting. But the other piece I find very valuable, expanding the content reference. The Copilot has the ability to reference even more information and bring it into Word. And you can easily add data from other locations. So let me demo that piece for you real quick. So I'm going to go ahead and open up Word. A blank Word document. So, and I'm going to give you a kind of a real world example that I just went through with this. So, I have a group of people that I work on that does a lot of things for Microsoft 365, as you're probably aware. And we want to make sure that we bill clients appropriately for it. There's some changes with Microsoft that are happening. We want to make sure that that gets put to people's agreements appropriately. Now, I did a training on this with the group to show people how to go through and make all this happen. It was about an hour-long training with about 4 individuals. And from that meeting, now I have a transcript that it was made from Teams. And now I can go ahead and create a how-to guide with Word directly from that meeting itself. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this, the Copilot button here. And we want to create a step-by-step guide based on reference your content. So I'm going to hit reference the content. And now this goes into all the files I worked on recently. We have files, all. I can come in here, go to recent emails as well. And I'm going to click on meetings. Now with the meetings, I'm going to go into one of the last meetings out here, the SureWeb TBG sync. So I'm going to go ahead, create a step-by-step guide on how to modify agreements based on this meeting. And I'm going to hit generate. So I talked for quite a while during this meeting, as well as other people during that meeting talked as well. So we had a correspondence back and forth. So it was not, I would say, hey, do this, do this, do that. But with Microsoft Copilot, it's going to go through the transcript and build together just the how-to steps, not those side conversations we had because it was a Friday. We had a lot of fun together, but it really pulled out just the information we need to do to take care of this one task. So now I have a step-by-step instruction guide based on that meeting. I can go ahead and clean up, make sure it makes sense to me. Copilot is not always exactly correct. Remember, you're the pilot in this. It's a Copilot, so make sure it's correct for the steps. Put together the guide, send it out to the team. So now they have a video of what we had to do. Now I have a Word document of what needs to happen and go from there. So really easy to put this together with Microsoft Copilot. It can bring in a whole bunch of different information from different locations and put together a presentation and a how-to document like this. Very valuable. Again, saves me a lot of time. All right, next up, Microsoft Copilot Excel updates. Now, Microsoft Copilot Excel updates doesn't have a lot more added to it since the last edition I talked about in the October-November timeframe in 2024. However, they did add in this nice little neat feature that allows you to do effortless data cleanup. And what this means is helping you fix inconsistency in your data. So say if you're bringing a whole bunch of data from different locations and putting it into a table format, and on the first row and columns, you have certain things that are like 1, 2, 3, 4, or maybe months, and you have potentially spaces at the front of it. So it doesn't look like it's the same way all the way down. What this data cleanup tool will do, will go ahead and find those inconsistencies within your tool set and in your data set and help make suggestions to fix them. So let me go ahead and demonstrate how this will work. So let me jump in, get over to my desktop here. And I'm going to go ahead and use a blank database. What you'll see initially here is I'm using this in Excel online. I'm using the web version Excel, not my installed version. That's because this is not available yet on the installed version on a Windows or Mac device. It will soon come there, but typically when they launch things, when the Copilot's in the web version first. So I'm going to go ahead and create a blank database or Excel sheet here. So I'm going to go ahead and put months and create a test of doing Jan, Feb, and grab this down. And this will be just a small demonstration of manually making a inconsistent data set and seeing if Excel for Copilot can find the issue. So I'm going to drag this down, get almost all the months. Come on, mouse. There we go. And I am going to turn this into a table. This has to be a table right now. I've tried this without not being a table, won't find the inconsistencies. And typically, Microsoft Copilot has always worked in tables, not just with just Excel without any tables. And they did make that fix in around the Q2 timeframe last year, which is fantastic. You can do data analysis over your anything in Excel, doesn't have to be in table form. I do find it works better if it's in table form. So if you're able to put it in a table, go ahead that direction. And for the data cleanup, we have to have it in a table form, at least for the time being. So I'm going to go ahead and make this the case. And there's my data. Pretty simple stuff. So I'm going to jump in here, go into a couple months, put a couple spaces in here. And again, put a space there. And let's see if Microsoft Copilot can find this inconsistencies within the database. So I'm going to go ahead and click on data here. And there's a new tool, little sweep, a little right here, hit data cleanup. And this will find immediately that there are extra redundant spaces here. Do you want to remove them? It says I have 2. I'm going to go ahead and apply. So what you're going to see here, it moved those May and September back to having no spaces in front of it. It did flag it, showing it that there was an issue. I'm not sure if you saw that before. See if I can get it back again. Boom. Bring it back. Data cleanup. it will go through and find it again. It found again 101, and you can see here that it did highlight that that was the issue. If you put your mouse over it, show you the 101. It shows me July is the one that has a inconsistent data set within it. So a nice little feature, a nice little trick you can do to find some inconsistencies. Again, not available yet on your fully installed Excel on your PC or Mac, but soon it will come out there. And once it does, I'll add that into the next updates for our solution. And one of the last things I have to show you is Microsoft 365 Copilot has the ability for you now to save prompts, which I find very handy, especially if you utilize prompts continuously. So with Microsoft Copilot app, again, the Microsoft Copilot app is going to be in your Copilot here within Teams itself. You can go to Microsoft Copilot, Microsoft.com. And you can see here, Microsoft 365 Copilot Microsoft will bring you here. So this is your Copilot app itself. So you can view prompts right here, which give you the default prompts that are there. So again, if you ever kind of get into a brain fog about what prompts to use, take a look at this one. You'll be able to find a prompt that might kind of strike a value to you, kind of utilizing on a daily basis if you wanted to, or kind of see what other prompts are out there that you might want to incorporate into your daily routine. But maybe you have prompts that you're doing continuously. So let's go ahead and create a prompt here that might be beneficial for me. So again, I like to use stuff for my one-on-ones was gather week notes from a employee I work with all the time. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this in here, let it go through. Now it's going to gather all the information here from my product manager, bring it all in here that we can all talk about. So I can see all the stuff that happened from last week. So every week before we meet, I want to go through all this stuff to see what happens. So if you want to save this, I can come into this message here and hit save prompt. It'll go, hey, do you want to give a title on this? What's the prompt going to be? Hit save right here. So next time I go to my view prompts next week when I do this, I can click my your prompts and I can see gathered information from Lauren Breen right here, which is very handy. You just kind of start doing things on a continuous basis. You can build all those things out. You can do the same thing. So again, with Copilot app, remember you have work, which is going to be your actual company data. You also have the web, which is the web data itself. So maybe I want to do some personal stuff. What's going on with stocks today? So I have some certain stocks I want to follow. Let's follow Microsoft, Broadcom, and Oracle. So go ahead. What's the latest on these stocks? So we'll bring it on down. And this is something I probably want to watch. Maybe not right now on a continuous basis, but hey, maybe every week I want to take a look at this. Again, I can go ahead and save this, save prompt, hit save. So when I go into my view prompts, I have it right here as well. What's the latest on the stocks? Now, very important to know one aspect with this is the fact if I click update items for Lauren Breen right here and click enter. Now, I'm on the web. So the web right here is going out to the web and looking for Lauren Breen. It doesn't know Lauren Breen internally. So I want to click on here, go to my work one, and then work off of that one right there. So it kind of helps out making sure you know where you're working at for your user prompts, because it does save them all in the same location, not specifically as a work-related versus a web-related prompt. So I just want to make sure that's out there and you kind of see the differences. And I think that brings us to the end today. So really, in conclusion, integrating Copilot into your daily routine can significantly enhance your productivity efficiency. With its ability to reference large blocks of content, organize meetings, rewrite emails, and provide relevant prompts, Copilot is an invaluable tool for anyone looking to save time and streamline their workflow. Why wait? I recommend giving Copilot a try today and experience the benefits firsthand. Now, some people might say, hey, I don't want to shell up the, $360 annually, or now you have the ability to pay annually, paid monthly, which is going to be a $31.50, but you're on the hook for the full year. However, you do have the capability of doing a thing called co-terming Copilot. So Microsoft Copilot, Microsoft licensed itself. So you might have a business basic, a business premium, an E5, whatever it is, and you pay an annual paid monthly. Those have a commitment term. So let's say the term on your business basic is in May. It comes up in May of 2024. You can actually co-term your Microsoft Copilot license to that May renewal, which means you have about 2 months if you bought it today of utilizing Copilot. You're on the hook for paying because you're co-terming to that point. So you can say, hey, I'm going to go ahead and give it a try for the 2 months and then put it do not renew. And you're only paying for 3150 times 2 to give Copilot a try to make sure if it makes sense. Now, this won't work for everybody because maybe everyone's, a certain company has all their licenses that renew in January or February that's already passed. So that'll be almost a full year. But I recommend giving a call to your account manager if you are from Ntiva or if you're not an Ntiva client, check out the terminate your commitment terms, and you have the capability of linking these things up together to maybe having a short window to give Copilot a try to make sense if it makes sense to work with your organization. So this trial period can help you see how much time you can save with Copilot and get back extra time to your day. So I recommend embracing the future of productivity and let Copilot transform the way you work. That's all we have today. I look forward to seeing what might kind of come out for the updates in Q2 or Q3, and we'll definitely do another Copilot webinar on that. Hope everyone has a great day, and I'll talk to you all soon. Thank you. Bye.